In the vibrant streets of West Philadelphia, where basketball courts echoed with laughter and music pulsed through boomboxes, a young Willard Carroll Smith Jr. was crafting rhymes that would eventually help him conquer Hollywood. But in 1985, few could have predicted that the lanky teenager with an infectious grin would transform from a local rap sensation into one of the entertainment industry's most powerful figures. Young Will's story began far from the glittering lights of Hollywood. As the son of a refrigeration engineer and a school administrator, he grew up in a middle-class household where education was paramount. However, it was his grandmother's influence that would leave an indelible mark on his character. "My grandmother always had this saying," Will would later recall in interviews, "if you're going to do something, do it right." This philosophy would become the cornerstone of his entire career. By his early teens, Will had already discovered his gift for words and rhythm. Partnering with his childhood friend Jeffrey DJ Jazzy Jeff Towns, they formed a dynamic duo that would revolutionize hip-hop with their clean lyrics and storytelling approach. Their chemistry was instantaneous. Jeff's innovative turntable skills perfectly complemented Will's charismatic flow and wholesome image. The duo's breakthrough came with Parents Just Don't Understand, a playful narrative that captured the universal experience of teenage frustration with authority. The track's success earned them not just a Grammy Award, making them the first hip-hop artists to receive this prestigious recognition, but also caught the attention of television executives who saw something special in the young performer's natural charm and screen presence. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. By 1990, Will faced a critical turning point. Despite his musical success, he had made some questionable financial decisions that left him nearly bankrupt and owing the IRS a substantial sum. This crisis could have derailed his entertainment career before it truly began. However, fate had other plans, arriving in the form of legendary music manager and producer Quincy Jones. Jones saw something in Will that others might have missed, not just a rapper with a clean image, but a natural performer with the potential to carry a television show. The concept was simple yet revolutionary. Take a street-smart kid from Philadelphia and drop him into the lap of luxury in Bel-Air. The fish-out-of-water story would become the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but the path to getting there was anything but simple. In what would become Hollywood legend, Will's audition for the role took place at Quincy Jones's birthday party. The producer had invited Will to the party specifically to test his acting abilities in front of NBC executives. With no formal acting training and everything to lose, Will did what he did best. He let his natural charisma shine through. The impromptu audition, performed in front of an audience of entertainment industry elite, would change the course of his life forever. The network executives were initially skeptical. Could a rapper with no acting experience carry a primetime television show? But Jones stood firm in his conviction, and his reputation in the industry carried enough weight to give Will a shot. The contract was drawn up that very night, right there at the birthday party, a moment that would later be recognized as the birth of a Hollywood icon. As the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air began production, Will faced an entirely new set of challenges. The transition from musician to actor wasn't easy, and his early performances showed his inexperience. But true to his grandmother's wisdom, he approached the craft of acting with dedication and humility. He would often stay up late into the night, practicing his lines until they felt natural, studying the techniques of his more experienced co-stars, and gradually developing his own style. The show's first season revealed both Will's raw talent and his room for growth. Critics were initially divided, but audiences immediately connected with his authentic charm and energy. What many didn't see were the hours Will spent working with acting coaches between takes, his constant questions to the directors about technique, and his willingness to learn from every mistake. This period would lay the foundation for what would become one of Hollywood's most remarkable careers. As the first season drew to a close, Will Smith stood at the threshold of something much bigger than he could have imagined. The rapper from Philadelphia had found his footing in television, but this was just the beginning. The lessons learned during these early days, about performance, about the business of entertainment, and about himself, would prove invaluable as he set his sights on an even bigger goal, conquering the silver screen. Little did he know that his journey from music to television was merely the prelude to an extraordinary career that would span decades and influence generations of performers to come. But that's a story for another chapter. Season in 1992, Will Smith was already plotting his next move. The television show had given him stability, a steady income, and, most importantly, a platform to learn the intricacies of acting. But Smith had always been a student of patterns, and he'd noticed something crucial about the entertainment industry. The biggest stars in the world weren't on television, they were in movies. During breaks between filming episodes, Will would shut himself away in his trailer, not to rest, but to study. He created what he would later call his success map, a detailed analysis of the highest-grossing films of all time. He noticed that these blockbusters often shared common elements: special effects, creatures, romantic subplots, and music. This wasn't just casual observation. It was methodical research that would inform every major career decision he would make for the next decade. His first significant film role came in 1992 with Where the Day Takes You, a gritty drama about homeless teens in Los Angeles. While the film received critical acclaim, it wasn't the type of project that aligned with Will's carefully crafted strategy. He knew he needed something bigger, something that would announce his presence in Hollywood with the same impact that parents just don't understand had made in the music industry. That opportunity came with 6 Degrees of Separation in 1993. The role of Paul, a charismatic con artist who charms his way into the homes of wealthy New Yorkers, was as far from the Fresh Prince as one could get. Many questioned whether Smith could handle such a complex, dramatic role. The film's director, Fred Schepisi, would later reveal that he had initial doubts about casting a sitcom star in such a demanding part, but Will approach the role with the same intensity he'd brought to learning television acting. He hired an acting coach and worked tirelessly to perfect his character's sophisticated accent and mannerisms. The result was a revelation. Critics who had dismissed him as a lightweight television actor were forced to reconsider their assessment. However, the film's limited release meant that while it enhanced his credibility, it didn't provide the breakthrough he was seeking. That breakthrough would come in 1995 with Bad Boys. The action comedy, co-starring Martin Lawrence, was exactly the kind of project Will had identified in his success analysis. It had action, humor, special effects, and a memorable soundtrack. The film's producer, Don Simpson, had initially wanted Saturday Night Live's Dana Carvey and Jon Lovitz for the leads. But Will's screen test with Martin Lawrence showed such explosive chemistry that the studio couldn't ignore it. The production of Bad Boys was a masterclass in movie stardom for Will. Working with legendary producer Jerry Bruckheimer, he learned the importance of marketing, understanding the international box office, and the power of a well-crafted movie trailer. The film's success, it grossed over $141 million worldwide, validated Will's strategic approach to his career. But it was his next project that would cement his status as Hollywood's newest leading man. Independence Day 1996 was exactly the kind of blockbuster Will had studied in his trailer years earlier. The film had everything: spectacular special effects, an ensemble cast, a patriotic theme, and that crucial July 4th release date. While some questioned the wisdom of casting a relatively unproven movie actor in such an expensive production, director Roland Emmerich saw in Will what Quincy Jones had seen years earlier: star power. The filming of Independence Day pushed Will to new limits. The physical demands of action sequences, the technical challenges of acting against green screens, and the pressure of carrying a $75 million production were all new territories for him. But his preparation and strategy paid off spectacularly. The film became one of the highest-grossing movies of all time, earning over $817 million worldwide. More than just a financial success, Independence Day represented the perfect execution of Will's career strategy. His character, Captain Stephen Hiller, was heroic, charismatic, and quotable. Everything Will had identified as crucial for creating a memorable screen presence. The film's success also proved that an African-American actor could open a movie globally, challenging long-held assumptions in Hollywood about international marketability. As 1996 drew to a close, Will Smith had achieved what many had thought impossible. In just 4 years, he had successfully transitioned from television star to legitimate movie actor to global box office draw. But even as he celebrated these achievements, he was already planning his next move. The success of Independence Day had given him the leverage to be more selective about his roles, and he had his eyes on a project that would combine everything he had learned about blockbuster filmmaking with a unique concept that would showcase his range as an actor. The next chapter of Will Smith's career would prove that his success wasn't just a fluke. It was the result of careful planning, relentless work ethic, and an understanding of the entertainment industry that went far beyond mere acting talent. As he prepared for his next big role, the industry waited to see if the Fresh Prince could continue his extraordinary streak of success. The summer of 1997 found Will Smith at a crucial crossroads. Independence Day had proven his ability to carry a major blockbuster, but in Hollywood, one success could easily be dismissed as luck. The pressure to deliver another hit was immense, and his next project would need to be chosen carefully. That project would become Men in Black, a film that would not only cement his status as a box office king, but also establish his signature screen persona. The road to Men in Black wasn't as straightforward as many might assume. Initially, the studio had considered Chris O'Donnell for the role of Agent J. But Will's recent success gave him leverage, and he had learned enough about the industry to know when to use it. He lobbied hard for the part, understanding that the combination of action, comedy, and science fiction perfectly aligned with his carefully crafted formula for success. The production of Men in Black marked a new phase in Will's evolution as an actor. Working alongside Tommy Lee Jones, he found himself sharing the screen with an Academy Award winner known for his intense preparation and method acting approach. Rather than being intimidated, Will used the opportunity to study Jones's technique, particularly his ability to ground even the most fantastical scenes in emotional reality. The film's success exceeded all expectations, grossing over $589 million worldwide, and spawning a hit soundtrack featuring Will's return to music with the movie's theme song. This dual success in both film and music demonstrated his unique ability to cross-pollinate different aspects of entertainment, a skill that would become increasingly valuable as his career progressed. But Will wasn't content to simply repeat his success in action comedy. He had been carefully studying the careers of actors he admired, particularly Denzel Washington and Tom Cruise, noting how they balanced commercial success with artistic credibility. His next choice would surprise many: Enemy of the State, a paranoid thriller that would push him into more dramatic territory while maintaining his commercial appeal. Working with director Tony Scott and veteran actor Gene Hackman, Will approached Enemy of the State with a new level of preparation. He spent time with surveillance experts, studied the political climate of the late 1990s, and worked to strip away some of the charming mannerisms that had become his trademark. The result was a more nuanced performance that proved he could hold his own in serious drama. However, the true test of Will's dramatic capabilities would come with a project that had been lingering in his mind for years: the story of Muhammad Ali. The journey to Ali began long before the cameras started rolling. Will had first been approached about playing the legendary boxer in 1990, but he had wisely declined, knowing he wasn't ready for such a demanding role. Now, a decade later, he felt prepared to take on the challenge. The transformation into Ali would become legendary in Hollywood circles. Will embarked on a punishing physical regimen, training for 6 hours a day for nearly 2 years. He learned to box, gained 35 pounds of muscle, and studied Islamic teachings to understand Ali's spiritual journey. More importantly, he worked with dialect coaches to master Ali's distinctive voice and speech patterns, spending countless hours studying footage of the champion's interviews and fights. The filming of Ali pushed Will to physical and emotional limits he hadn't known existed. Director Michael Mann was known for his perfectionism, often requiring dozens of takes for a single scene. The boxing sequences were filmed like actual fights, with Will taking real punches to achieve authenticity. The physical toll was matched by the emotional demands of portraying Ali's complex relationship with his faith, his country, and his own legacy. The dedication paid off. When Ali was released in 2001, Will's performance earned him his first Academy Award nomination. While he didn't win the Oscar, the nomination represented something perhaps more valuable: undeniable proof that he could deliver both commercially and artistically. He had successfully transcended the boundaries that often constrain actors who start in television or achieve early success in action movies. This period also saw Will making strategic moves behind the camera. He and his wife Jada Pinkett Smith founded Overbrick Entertainment, a production company that would give him greater control over his projects and allow him to develop opportunities for other artists. This business acumen, combined with his proven track record at the box office, made him one of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. As the new millennium progressed, Will Smith had achieved what few actors ever manage. He had become both a reliable box office draw and a respected dramatic actor. But even as he celebrated these successes, new challenges loomed on the horizon. The movie industry was changing, audience tastes were shifting, and maintaining his position at the top would require even more strategic thinking and bold choices. The next phase of his career would test whether he could continue to evolve as an artist while maintaining his commercial appeal. As he prepared for his next projects, the question wasn't whether Will Smith could deliver a hit, but rather what kind of legacy he wanted to build. By 2003, Will Smith had achieved what most actors only dream of. He could get almost any project greenlit simply by attaching his name to it. This power came with both opportunity and responsibility. His next moves would define not just his career, but potentially reshape how Hollywood thought about leading men and the types of stories that could draw audiences worldwide. The success of Ollie had opened new doors, but Will was keenly aware that maintaining his position required a delicate balance between commercial appeal and artistic growth. His next major project, I, Robot 2004, demonstrated this balance perfectly. While on the surface it was a big-budget science fiction action film, it also explored complex themes about consciousness, free will, and the nature of humanity, topics that fascinated Will personally. Behind the scenes, Will was becoming increasingly involved in every aspect of his films. During the production of I, Robot, he worked closely with the screenwriters to develop his character's backstory, collaborated with the visual effects team to ensure the robot characters felt authentic, and even contributed ideas for marketing the film. This holistic approach to filmmaking would become his trademark, but it was his next project that would truly showcase his evolution as an actor. The Pursuit of Happiness 2006 was more than just another role. It was a deeply personal story that resonated with Will's own beliefs about determination and the American dream. The film would also mark his first time acting alongside his son Jaden, adding another layer of emotional authenticity to his performance. The preparation for The Pursuit of Happiness was intense in a different way from his previous roles. Rather than physical transformation, it required emotional vulnerability. Will spent time with the real Chris Gardner, the man whose story the film was based on, learning not just about the events but about the psychological toll of trying to protect and provide for a child while homeless. He also had to strip away his natural charisma, presenting a more desperate and vulnerable character than audiences had ever seen from him. The risk paid off spectacularly. The film was both a commercial and critical success, earning Will his second Academy Award nomination. More importantly, it proved that he could carry a film that relied purely on emotional drama rather than special effects or action sequences. This success gave him the confidence to take on even more challenging projects. Next came I Am Legend 2007, a film that would push Will's abilities in new directions. For much of the movie, he would be the only human character on screen, acting opposite computer-generated infected humans and a dog. The role required him to convey isolation, desperation, and determination with minimal dialogue and no human interaction. The physical demands were also intense. Will trained with military experts to believably portray a scientist-turned-survivor in a post-apocalyptic world. The filming of I Am Legend was a grueling experience. Many scenes were shot in a completely emptied New York City, with Will having to maintain his character's emotional state while essentially performing in a void. The result was one of his most haunting performances, proving he could hold audience attention even without his trademark witty banter and charm. During this period, Will was also expanding his influence in Hollywood in other ways. Through Overbrick Entertainment, he was producing successful films and television shows, including The Secret Life of Bees and All of Us. He was actively working to create opportunities for other actors and filmmakers, particularly those from underrepresented backgrounds. His next major project would be Hancock 2008, a subversive take on the superhero genre that allowed him to both play to and against type. The film's premise, a superhero who's also a bitter alcoholic, gave Will the chance to explore darker territory while maintaining the commercial appeal his audience expected. While the film received mixed reviews, it demonstrated his continuing ability to draw audiences and his willingness to take risks with established genres. This period of Will's career was marked by an increasing confidence in his ability to choose projects that served both his artistic ambitions and his commercial instincts. He was no longer just a movie star. He had become a brand unto himself, one that represented quality, reliability, and innovation in entertainment. As the decade drew to a close, Will Smith had successfully navigated the treacherous waters of Hollywood stardom for nearly 20 years. He had maintained his position as one of the industry's most bankable stars while continuously pushing himself as an actor. But the industry was changing rapidly. The rise of streaming platforms, the dominance of superhero franchises, and shifting audience tastes would present new challenges and opportunities. The next chapter of Will Smith's career would require him to adapt once again, finding new ways to remain relevant and compelling in an increasingly fragmented entertainment landscape. As he prepared to enter a new decade, the question wasn't whether he could still draw audiences, but rather how he would choose to use his considerable influence in a changing Hollywood. As the 2010s dawned, Will Smith found himself in an entertainment landscape drastically different from the one he had conquered in the previous decades. The rise of streaming platforms, social media, and superhero franchises had transformed how audiences consumed entertainment. For the first time in his career, Will took a significant break from acting, stepping back to reassess his place in this new Hollywood. This hiatus, lasting nearly 4 years after Men in Black 3, 2012, was an idle time. Behind the scenes, Will was studying the changing industry dynamics and planning his next move. He was also focusing on producing, helping to guide his children's careers, and carefully selecting projects that would define the next phase of his career. This period of reflection would prove crucial for his subsequent renaissance. His return to acting came with Focus 2015, a sleek con artist film that showed a more mature, nuanced side of his screen presence. While not a massive blockbuster by his previous standards, the film demonstrated Will's ability to adapt his charisma to more adult-oriented material. However, it was his next project that would thrust him back into the spotlight in a major way. Suicide Squad 2016 represented a calculated risk. Joining the DC Comics universe as Deadshot, Will tackled a morally ambiguous character in an ensemble piece, a significant departure from his usual heroic leading roles. The film, despite mixed reviews, was a commercial success and introduced him to a new generation of moviegoers. More importantly, it showed his willingness to be part of a larger cinematic universe rather than always carrying a film solo. The same year brought Collateral Beauty, a dramatic departure that, while commercially unsuccessful, highlighted Will's continuing desire to push his emotional range as an actor. The film's reception taught him valuable lessons about the changing tastes of audiences and the importance of project selection in the modern era. A significant shift in Will's career strategy came with his embrace of digital platforms. Recognizing the power of social media, he launched a YouTube channel and began sharing more of his personal life and philosophy with fans. This direct connection with audiences proved invaluable, helping him maintain relevance in an age where movie stardom alone wasn't enough. His role in Netflix's Bright 2017 marked another strategic pivot. Despite mixed critical reception, the film's success on the streaming platform demonstrated Will's ability to draw audiences in the digital age. It also showed his understanding that the definition of box office success was evolving in the streaming era. The production of Aladdin 2019 presented a unique challenge, taking on an iconic role previously defined by Robin Williams' unforgettable voice performance. Will's approach to the genie character showcased his maturity as a performer. Rather than trying to replicate Williams' interpretation, he created his own version that paid homage to the original while incorporating his unique style. The film's massive success, $1 billion worldwide, proved he could still deliver blockbuster results while reinventing familiar material. A career highlight arrived with King Richard 2021, where Will portrayed Richard Williams, father and coach to tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams. The role allowed him to combine the dramatic intensity he developed through years of serious roles with the charismatic appeal that had made him a star. His performance earned him his first Academy Award for Best Actor, marking a triumph that had been decades in the making. Throughout this period, Will also began opening up more about his personal life and philosophies. His memoir, Will, became a bestseller, offering insights into his methodology for success and the personal cost of maintaining his position in Hollywood. This transparency, combined with his social media presence, helped reshape his public image from merely a movie star to a multifaceted cultural figure. Looking back over Will Smith's career trajectory, from a rapper in West Philadelphia to one of Hollywood's most successful and influential figures, several themes emerge. His success wasn't just about talent or charisma, though he had both in abundance. It was about strategic thinking, constant adaptation, and an unwavering work ethic. He understood early on that staying at the top required more than just delivering hits. It required evolving with the industry while maintaining the core appeal that made audiences connect with him in the first place. As Will Smith continues to navigate his career in an ever-changing entertainment landscape, his journey offers lessons about resilience, reinvention, and the power of authentic connection with audiences. From the Fresh Prince to Hollywood royalty, his story remains one of the most remarkable in entertainment history, a testament to the possibilities that exist when talent meets opportunity and determination. The question now isn't whether Will Smith can maintain his position in Hollywood. He's proven his ability to adapt and thrive time and again. Instead, the question is, what new territories will he choose to explore? And how will he continue to influence the entertainment industry in the...
Tell us in the comments what part of this story impressed you the most. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next videos. See you in the world of incredible events.